Hello, welcome back to Fred in the Shed. I hope you're doing well today. Got something really interesting here. We have a desktop little TEF radio. This is the RX260-A. It's a 6686 radio in a resin plastic semi-metal case. Quite nice really. But this one is slightly different to everything we've looked at before because, as you would have seen on the thumbnail, this has two RCA outputs. This has a stereo line output, which means you can connect this directly into your hi-fi system. I've always said when I've tested these radios that the stereo on FM is absolutely superb. Not only the sound quality, but the stereo separation. It really is something quite special. So later on in the video, we'll be connecting this into my amplifier and then we'll see what it sounds like. The radio itself, I say desktop design, quite a few function buttons, a few things I like about it, and then a couple of things that I don't like about it. Let's get it on the bench and I'll explain what I mean. No point in doing any unboxing because there's no unboxing experience with this product. You get a plain cardboard box. You do get, I must admit, a rather nice remote control. Some of the functions are labelled in Chinese, but you work it out pretty quickly how it works. And then you get USB charging cable. It does have a built-in lithium-ion battery. And that's really about it. There is no instructions with this. You're on your own to find out basically how the controls work. Some of you will absolutely hate that. Some of you will like the challenge of the learning curve. I'm a bit in the middle, to be perfectly honest. I generally just don't read instructions. I go straight ahead. One thing I've noticed, which you probably can't hear on camera, I've got the volume turned all the way down. There's like a little tiny whine coming from the radio itself. I wonder if I can pick that up on the mic. You probably can't hear it. It almost sounds like an old-fashioned fax machine. Not quite sure what's going on there. Now, with these TEF radios, one thing I do like about it is you can customise the display colours. So what you can see here is I've gone for a monochrome, but you can change this to different colours, whatever one you really like. That's good. It says on the, well, not instructions, but on this sheet here, it says, it's hard to read, 2.8-inch TFT touchscreen. It's not. It's not a touchscreen. I can't find any capacitive part of the screen. It seems to be menu-based, which again is a learning curve. Not quite sure why they put that on top of the radio. Let's have a quick look around the back, because this is what's quite interesting. So, firstly, you get stereo speakers. We'll have a listen to it in a moment on the speakers. They're okay. I mean, it's not really hi-fi. It's not bassy, but it is quite clear. You do get a Wi-Fi antenna, and that's purely for updating the firmware. And then you get an SMA with a decent sized telescopic antenna. I'd say it's probably getting on for 1 metre long, which is pretty decent. Basic on-off switch, which is nice to see. Headphone socket, says R&L headphone socket, and then of course that important RCA output, a line out so you can connect it to your hi-fi. Overall, a generic sort of case, plastic, acrylic. It's okay actually. It's not too flash, but it doesn't look too bad. Now when it comes down to the controls, as I say, you do have the remote control. It's a little bit sort of, well, you have to really find them out for yourself. I mean, I've gradually learned what things do, but for example, the OK button here, press that down. This is for the frequency select here for the tuning, and then we've just got a simple up and down. If you hold it down, it doesn't scan. If you hold it down, it basically goes into the volume. My first criticism is that, say, the volume, it is an up and down button. It's not so bad if you use remote control. I would have liked to have seen a rotary volume on this. To be perfectly honest, there's no rotary controls at all. To turn the volume up, we just have to hold down the button.
And Caroline Steele joins me to share this week's science news you need to know. Hi, Caroline.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
So, turns out one of Jupiter's moons could be a huge dark matter detector. Birds are as lazy at communicating as we humans are, and I think we should use maths to win at Guess Who. That all sounds fantastic. Before all that, let's talk...
So very, very nice, clear audio. Like I said, I can't really play any commercial music, obviously, for copyright. Not really any bass coming through. Now, when it comes down to the controls, I have worked out how to get into the menu. You've got the mode control here, which this gives you, obviously, on this side of the screen. It gives you the tuning option, so you have manual, automatic, where it will just search for you, and then memories. If you hold down the mode, we then go into the standard menu settings here. And everything's really in here. It's a shame it's not a touch screen. It would make life a lot easier. But this is where you can change the audio settings. There isn't really any bass or treble control from the radio itself. There's no equalization or anything like that. You get what you get. But you can change the display settings, and you can change what color that you would like it. To change modes, simply just press the STA switch here. Won't get very much up in the shack. So long wave, medium wave, shortwave, broadcast band only, of course, no sideband because it's a TEF chip. And then you have the DX FM band. If you hold this down, I believe we can pick up all your RDS information here. Yep, there we go. So this is really interesting, and this will really be for the radio enthusiasts. But we can see exactly what's going on, all of the encoded information coming out on the display. Back to the mode. Also, we have a bandwidth button here. So I leave it on auto all the time, but you may want to manually select your bandwidth. Again, that's going to be really for people that are going to be going off. One thing that's currently beat me on the radio is to change station by typing in the frequency. Let me give you an example. So we want to go to radio 2, so 8910, okay. No, goes to... I can't find a combination. I'm sure it must do it. Go straight to the menu. That goes straight to the menu settings. It works on a remote control via this button here. Let me demonstrate that. So 8910, and then that button, and that changes it. It must be, but I've got no instructions to find out how it works. I'm going to say the remote control. It's probably a generic remote control, but it's actually pretty decent. I mean, it's probably better than the remote control that came with my Bose sound system. There are some Chinese symbols on here, like I say, but it's just a question of trying to work out what does what. The volume control does work on a remote control.
The company car had to go back. They didn't provide that.
The only thing I will say, there's no progress bar or numbers on the display, so you don't quite know where you are with the volume itself. I think what I'll do next, as it has got an RCA on it, I think we'll take it downstairs. Let's connect it up to my amplifier, and let's see what it sounds like when I put it through a decent amplifier with some decent speakers.
Horrendous. I thought never ever again. I just thought, no, I'm going to be strict with myself.
some shoppers at Clitheroe Market. Sophie Trotman is a nutritionist. She's looked into how healthy the different crisps are. She contributed to an article, The Nutritionist Guide to Crisps, and I have to say she loves crisps. So Sophie, do you eat many of them?
Do I eat many crisps? Well,
be honest now.
Occasionally. Sorry?
Be honest now.
Do you know what?
It is a scalable business that even though it would remain very niche and perhaps in the West, if a person were to find out that their spouse...
no Googling. Should we do that? Still to come, we'll find out what Benty's serving up in his tea time takeaway.
Of course, yeah.
Do you think Ruben Amram will be there come Christmas time?
Yeah.
What percentage?
Force his way out of the club. He wants to join Liverpool, who have already seen a £110 million bid rejected for the Swedish striker.
A song sounded great on the radio, he'd play it. And he'd play it again. And he'd play it again.
Indian officials say at least 20 people have been killed in Israeli strikes on the Nasser hospital in southern Gaza.
D'une importance capitale dans l'histoire chinoise, elle est située dans the region. The digital radio app, the first of its kind in Eastern Africa, brings together 66 Catholic radio stations from countries including Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia.
أستشعر ما يمكن فعله من أجل أن يكون هناك تفاعل من الجمهور.
Yes, this is also a good remark. We don't have to look only to Central Asia, as Professor Mahoney said. We can also look closer to Europe, to where Turkey is, right? There are many ways in how sanctions could be circumvented. I mean, it's clear.
La historia del país. Las inundaciones que, según declaraciones oficiales, causaron la muerte de 1,836 personas, dejaron en ruinas especialmente.
That Putin contacted, and what does he hold for China?
Let me start by saying that certainly the policy of President Donald Trump, differences in U.S.-Russian relations will completely disappear. So these divergences between the two and differences are structural.
I really hope that came across if you listened on headphones. It's so difficult to get the audio quality across on YouTube because of audio compression when I upload a video. But it sounds really, really nice on the hi-fi. My only criticism of the unit is, which you can't hear on the microphone, but it is that kind of transistor whine. It has this little whine that's coming from it all of the time. It might just be my particular unit, but when it's quiet, you can hear it. Maybe it would have been nice if it had a couple of little tuning pots on the front. It is very button controlled, but if you want one of these TEF radios and you want the hi-fi connection, this currently is the only one offering that. I did review another model. I've got it here. This is also on the channel. I'll leave a link to this one in the description. Very similar thing, but this one has the 3 little pots there for the tuning. But then you miss out on the stereo speakers on the back, and you haven't got the hi-fi connection. Doesn't sound quite so good. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed the video. This particular radio, I'll leave a link in the description. Came in from Banggood. When this one hits the channel, Banggood will be having their end of summer sale. This will also be included in the sale, so there'll be a good price on this. I'll also get a discount code, so if you're interested, make sure you use my discount code and it will save you a few quid. And that's the end of the video. I hope it was useful. I hope you found it interesting. There's the thumbs up from Fred in the Shed. Thank you for your view time. If you get a second, and it literally just takes a second, just return the thumbs up down below. I like to see that, then I know that you're enjoying the videos and I can carry on making them with a clear conscience. Anyway, as always, thank you for tuning in to the channel. Please, please, please look after each other, stay safe, and of course, catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Fred's in the shed where the magic unfolds. Fred in the shed with his trusty CB. He's a friend to the lonely on a frequency.